everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be talking about how to start a career in marketing, and of course I'm going to be sharing my personal journey and experience. So this video is for you if one, you're about to start your career in marketing and you really do not understand what exactly marketing is about, or you're wondering what skills do you need to get started, or two, you're already in marketing and you're looking to transition and grow. So you're wondering, maybe you want to move from digital marketing into full-blown marketing. What do you need to get started? Or thirdly, you are you in the nearest future, you're considering, if I do want to get into marketing, what exactly is marketing? What does it entail? What are the challenges I might most likely face? Or you're a business owner and you're thinking, do I need a marketing personnel in my office, or can I handle it all by myself? Well, this is the video you all should be watching. In this video, I'm going to be talking about tips on how to get started in marketing, skills that you need to acquire or learn to work in marketing as a marketing professional. I'm obviously going to be sharing my own personal experience and mistakes as well that I have made. I'm going to be talking about challenges that you might face in marketing and how to basically get prepared for it. I'm also going to be explaining what exactly is marketing, because marketing is broad, and sometimes I get people saying, I do not really understand what marketing is all about. And lastly, I'm going to be talking about the controversial topic, certifications or experience. Which one of them is more important? I'll be sharing my thoughts as well on that. So sit back and get relaxed. So like I was saying earlier, a common question people get to ask me a lot of times is, Tara, did you study marketing in university? No, I did not study marketing in university. As a matter of fact, I studied political science in university at Covenant. I did not even know that I was going to go into marketing. I just stumbled on marketing, literally. Officially, this month makes it 4 years that I have been in marketing, and unofficially 5 years. So my first job was at Cracks TV as a social media manager. I would just like to briefly just talk about my interview and test experience there. So I went for an interview and I was asked on the spot, right after the interview, to give 5 reasons why Mr. Ibu should be James Bond. If you know who Mr. Ibu is, he's a Nigerian actor and comedian. You would know that it's almost impossible for someone like him to be James Bond. But that's the interesting thing about marketing. There's an argument sometimes as to whether you need to be a creative to go into marketing. For me, it's a plus if you are, but if not, it's fine, because strategy is also another important part of marketing, and if you're not strategic, then you're going to struggle if you're just a creative. So, but I was able to think on the spot on 5 reasons, and I got the job. Something you should know is, if you're just starting your marketing career, why I say if you're just starting is because after years of experience, there's a probability that you might not need to create marketing plans, but some organizations are very standardized where you have to create a marketing plan just so they see your thinking. Because if you create a good marketing plan, because planning is the work really, I know there's execution, but if you can plan, if you can create a good plan, it most likely shows that you know how to get started on the work. So you are most likely going to create marketing plans or write tests. So if you're just starting, you might want to start practicing and getting better at it. If you have a mentor as well, you should speak to your mentor, share your plans with your mentor. It's very important to have mentors in marketing, or be like-minded communities, join marketing communities, because you basically get to learn a lot of stuff from those communities and you meet people that you can practice with, right? I started working in Cracks TV. Unofficially, I would say I did marketing during my NYC year. I was a social media manager there as well. Well, I appointed myself as a social media manager, because it didn't exist before I got there, just because of my 6 months internship experience at Inside Communications right after uni, before my NYC year. Although I was in the administrative department, but I got to interact with people, account managers. A close friend of mine then was a digital marketer, so I got to also ask certain questions, and that's when I started gaining interest and sort of understanding marketing a bit. So when I started working at Cracks TV and also during my NYC year, that's some of the experience that or the interactions that I made. That's what I now started using to start to practice. One thing that's very important is courses, free courses. Why I say free is because you're most likely fresh out of school, you're just starting, and it's a risk that you're not willing to take just yet. So you can take a lot of free courses. At the initial stage, I did the Google Digital Skills Africa. I also did Show Academy course. Yes, because they're free, and in some cases, even if they're not, they do not cost a lot, within the range of like 2 to 10,000 naira. And there's Udemy now. There are a number of platforms that, in fact, even LinkedIn actually helps in taking those courses, in providing those courses as well. Yeah, so that's something I used at the early stage to help me get better in marketing and understand what marketing was really about. And it was interesting because as I was learning it, I was also practicing it at work. And then I started to grow from Cracks TV. I went social media manager into content manager. Before I go, and then right after content management, I also got a job and started working at Pulse TV as well. Now this was the point where I started to transition into digital marketing. I just want to note there's a difference between social media management and digital marketing. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I've met people that either run small businesses, or some organizations say that they want to hire a social manager to function in the capacity of a digital marketer. Now, a digital marketer can function as a social media manager, but it cannot be the other way around. The reason being is that imagine you're expecting a social media manager to create email marketing, to send out emails. Imagine you expecting a social media manager, in some cases, to even sponsor ads. They do not really understand that at the initial stage. I'm imagining myself at that early stage and someone giving me that task, I would have flopped woefully. But as time went on, I now got to understand. So there's SEO. There are a number of parts about digital marketing. I started sponsoring ads. I started running ads. There's Google display ads. So there are a number of things that really differentiate digital marketing and social media management. So it's very important to understand the difference before you either hire someone, or even before you even apply for that job that they say they're looking for a digital marketing manager and you're just learning. So it's best to put a disclaimer and say, I'm going to learn on this job, but I do not have the full knowledge of this. Marketing is going to be extremely interesting, and in terms of results, you are going to get amazing and remarkable results simply because you understand the people that you are creating the product for. Something I always say to people, no matter how brilliant your product is, or how brilliant your logo is, or your brand, if you are not speaking to the right people, if you are not targeting the right people, if you do not know who your customers are, you are literally wasting your time, because you'll be selling your product to the wrong people. And when you figure out that, these people are not jumping on your content, they're not engaging on your content, or they are not purchasing your product or using your services, you're wondering why that's going on. But that's really because you have not identified who exactly your customers are. And for that, in understanding marketing, for the purpose of this video, I'll stick mostly to digital marketing and traditional marketing. Traditional marketing, just as you know it, just to simplify it, is where you have your billboards, where you have your events, your lampposts, where you have your TV commercials, where you have your newspaper ads, magazine ads, in fact, where you see all this, your TV shows and Big Brother ads, where you're seeing your brand, you're seeing your brand logo, or your brand is engaging with the consumers from TV. Really, that's as simple as it can be. That's how traditional marketing can be defined. And is why it's traditional, just as the name implies, is that it's the old way of doing things. That's what people are already used to. Now, digital, on the other hand, is where you have your social media platforms, where you have your social media ads, where you see YouTube ads, where you go to different digital channels and you're seeing a brand or you're seeing a product. So digital also have ads, just as you already know on the traditional point of view, but just in this case, you are seeing it most likely on your phone and you're seeing it on channels or platforms like you already know it. For me, one interesting part about digital marketing is that you can measure the work that you're doing. Although traditional, there are different ways in which people can make traditional measurable. So an example is you put a lamppost or billboards and you go on social media where that's basically integrated marketing. You go on social media and you just say something like wherever it is you see our ad, just take a picture of it and tag us or use this hashtag. That way you're basically tying what you are doing on the traditional marketing to your digital marketing, just to connect it so people know, oh, these people actually are aware of what they're doing. Some cases is putting your phone number on the traditional billboard and you're telling people to call. There are different ways in which people now are trying to make traditional more exciting and easy to track. But the truth is, traditional is expensive, and no matter how much you try and measure it, it cannot be as measured as much as digital marketing. So after spending millions of naira, in terms of the results that you're getting, in some cases is usually not as high. But if you merge traditional and digital, there's a high tendency that you might get very good results. But you figure out that in most cases your traditional results, you are only backing it based on assumptions or based on some statistics. An example is you put a billboard somewhere and you already have statistics that 3,000 people pass this let's say third mainland bridge on a daily basis. That's some statistics that already exist. So just like I said, the purpose of this video, I'll just stick to that. So digital marketing, you have email marketing, you have SEO. There are a number of things that can basically categorize digital and traditional marketing. So I then transitioned into digital marketing. Something I want to say about the kind of experience you have, it will be really amazing. I wish I had known this at the early stage of my career. If you can work in an agency, agencies are, pardon my language, they could be very crazy in terms of the kind of workload that you receive. It's a lot of work. It's hectic, short nights, early mornings, but the experience that you get from an agency, I'm telling you, you can almost never get it from any other place. Reason being that you're working on different products, on different industries. You're not just working on an FMCG, you're not just working fintech, you're not just working tech, you're not just working construction. You're getting knowledge from every single industry, and this makes you do a lot more research. This makes you know how to, because crisis management, you cannot escape from crisis. So for example, working in an agency where there's a lot of crises from different industries, you're really learning how to deal with these different crises, and you're working with like minds. You're working with a lot of intelligent people as you are, and you people are all brainstorming together, and that experience from the agency is something that you cannot beat. Although for me, even though I didn't work in an agency, I worked in an agency-like organization, but where I tried to balance it was I took on a lot of side jobs at the early stage of my career. I took on a lot of side jobs and a lot of consultations. So I was consulting for people, I was helping people manage their social media platforms, I was helping people come up with digital marketing plans, social media plans, marketing plans, event plans. So, and I was helping people from different industries, just because. And how it starts is usually from the first person you get. Once you do a good job for that person, the person most likely will refer you to another person, and that's how the trail goes. So the only reason why I was lucky enough for side jobs are also very important at the beginning of your career. Do not be focused on the money that you're going to get from it, because it will not be a lot. I would be lying to you if I say it's a lot, because these people can tell that you're just eager and you're very passionate about getting results, and you're passionate about getting that experience. So that's most likely what people would step on at that initial stage. But just take on those jobs. Now, I'm not saying do them for free in all cases, because there are basic things you are going to want to cover. You're going to need to cover your data. If your laptop is faulty, you're going to want to fix it. So take some money, but just don't be focused at taking a lot of money. Be more focused on the experience that you're going to get from taking on that job. So a lot of side jobs helped me. That's what sort of helped me from my agent, from not working in a proper agency. So agencies are agencies like Extreme Media, Noah's Ark, Inside Communication. So if people are just wondering, when you say agencies, what kind of agencies are you referring to? So those kind of agencies are the agencies that you can work with: marketing agencies, advertising agencies. So you get a lot of experience. But for me, I got them from my side jobs, and it was interesting. And because another important thing is stakeholder management, managing your clients, short timelines. I need to get this done in 2 weeks, I need to get that done in 5 years. So it just really varies, and you're going to get all of them at a go. So what you get is that you are learning how to manage, because when you go into the full time, when you grow in your career, you're going to realize that that's what you're going to have to deal with, and you're going to need to learn how to manage that, also how to prioritize. This is important, but this is most important, so I need to get this done first. So that's something that you're going to need to learn in marketing. How do I learn to say to my boss, or how do I learn to say to my client that I know you want this, but you've also said that you want this as well, and this is a lot more important than this. So that's another important thing. Stakeholder management. We need to learn, marketing professionals, knowing how to manage your stakeholders, very important. Knowing how to use the linguas that would excite them, knowing how to give them the present to them in the way that they want to see their presentations. I've had to work with different people, and I know there are different people, different presentation styles work for different people. There are some people that they just really want to see, what are you saying? I don't have time to see designs. I don't have time to see these are the pictures of your target audience. What exactly are you trying to say? And some people, they like the whole when you design slides for them. So it's just very important to understand who your stakeholders are, and basically learn how to manage them, so that you can start getting approved on most of your plans that you're basically presenting to them. So just talking about my transition journey into full-blown marketing. So my organization, I was lucky enough, I currently work at AO, I'm the marketing manager. So I initially started off 2 years ago as the digital marketing lead. So I was lucky enough to transition. Some organizations, you might not be that lucky in terms of it's very rigid. So you go in as one role, and you might only get higher pay, but you might not really get more experience or more tasks or challenges. But I, on the other hand, I was able to work in a flexible organization where I could grow in that aspect, right? So one good thing that happened was I got a project that I was supposed to work on, and that project meant I was going to work on the field. And working on the field, although it was very challenging, but it was really exciting. Something exciting for me was I had to interact with bottom of the pyramid, and for me that's probably been one of my most exciting or interesting marketing journeys ever, where I got to plan for activations. Although I wasn't executing the activations per se, I wasn't distributing flyers, but I would create plans myself and my team. Obviously I wasn't doing it alone. That's another important thing in marketing: teamwork. If you want to get results, you need to learn teamwork, and teamwork is beyond just your internal team. Teamwork is also with agencies. You are going to need to learn how to manage your agency. If you have the opportunity to work with agencies, you need results done. You are going to need to learn how to understand the agency you're working with, you have a good relationship with them, so that when you have needs, even if it's at odd hours, because that's what marketing entails anyways, they'll be able to get the work done for you. So do not just be focused on just your own internal team, and other departments as well. So for me, I work in a product segment, so I work in fintech, so I obviously have to work with the product team. So having good relationships with the team, your other team members, is important. Sales team as well. If you want to run something, you know who to call. Relationship management is very important in marketing. It is a skill that you must have, because I'm not saying that you need to be overly friendly or not, but what you just need to do is all your stakeholders, all the people that are going to make you get your result done, ensure that you have a good working relationship with them if you want to get positive results and quick results, most importantly. So like I was saying, that's how I got to work on that project. And from that project, I got to realize that I actually do enjoy the idea of traditional marketing. I enjoy being beyond creating digital marketing plans. Then I started doing events. That was one hectic and interesting experience. Something you must learn in marketing is planning. I know I said that earlier, but planning is very important. If you come up with a good plan and you plan properly, you are going to realize that at the end of the day, although there will be bumps here and there, but everything is going to flow properly and is going to flow well because you created the right plan and you are following through. Yeah, so that was how I was able to transition. It's just that I saw an opportunity at the office. Although I was reached out to, I jumped on it. I was not afraid and scared of it, and I took up that opportunity. Now I will now go into the kind of skills that you need to have. Like I said, it's very important to have certain skills in marketing. I've already mentioned some of them. You have to be very optimistic. You cannot say, oh, because this plan wasn't approved, I can't. You have to have a high spirit and you have to be very energetic, really. So you need to have copywriting skills, or copy and content writing skills. You might not always be the copy or content writer, but it's important for you to understand how to do it and how to be a great storyteller. You need to learn public speaking skills, because when you create plans, most cases you are going to have to present your plans. I've met people tell me, I created an absolutely beautiful plan, but when it got to time to present it, I didn't know what to say, I didn't know how to present it, and my plan wasn't approved. So public speaking is extremely important in marketing. You must learn how to speak to your audience. You must know how to be confident. You also need to learn basic graphic design skills. In some cases you might not be the one to create the designs, but you need to understand the concept of design. You need to understand the sizes. So for example, when you're going to promote, you need to know, okay, this one is for Google ads, this and this resolutions, that this content isn't high enough, the resolution is too low. You're basically going to learn some of those skills just so that you can grow in them. I've already spoken about internal communication skills. Sorry, I wrote some of them down. Editorial and marketing calendar skills. So you're going to need to learn how to create calendars, because calendars are very important in marketing, whether it's full-blown marketing or digital. You're going to have a calendar. So this says, oh, at this point, this is what I'm getting done. At that point, that's what I'm going to get done. You also need to understand the basic principle of your channels. Channels are unique and they are very different. What the content you create for Twitter might not be the same content, or would not be the same content in some situations that you use for YouTube. So understand your channels and understand how to create content for your channels. And obviously, like I said, understand your customers, because your customers are the most important thing in marketing. Know how to set goals, know how to set realistic goals. And you also need to understand the difference between your objective, between your goals, and basically know how to set your goals and set your objective, and make sure that they are reasonable, make sure that they are realistic. I'm not saying set weak goals, I'm just saying make sure that they are realistic, so that you're not struggling with saying that, oh, you couldn't meet up to that goal, and it's almost like you don't know what you're doing. Same thing with KPIs. Know how to set your KPIs, make sure that they are measurable and they are so there are a number of skills I would have loved to talk about, but I will just stick to those ones for now. Another thing, let me go to the most interesting aspect of this topic. Certification or experience, which one is more important? To be honest, I would answer this question from the experience that I have and where I have gotten so far. I would say that they are actually on the same level. Experience is beautiful, it is fantastic. You can never take away your experience, but there are certain organizations that are actually very interested in your certificates. Are you a certified marketer? Are you a certified digital marketer? They really want to be sure that because the truth is, what's the standard of the organization that you have worked in? What if the standard of this organization is not as good as the next organization you're going with? Your certificate sort of shows that, okay, this person knows what they are doing. Currently, I'm taking a course at Digital Marketing Institute Ireland. I'm doing it virtually, obviously, and it's very interesting. You can check them out. I registered through Simon Page Business School, and I'm going to write my exams and finish my course this year, and that I'm going to get the certificate. Obviously, there's also CIM. I know people have asked me, oh, is CIM important? Yes, it's important. You can do without it, but in some organizations, they ask, what kind of certifications do you have? So this has been such an interesting topic, and it's been so interesting to share some of my knowledge with you. There are so many things obviously I'm going to drop as time goes on, but you need to understand that marketing is it's interesting, but it's also very challenging, and you have to be ready to, you know, dance to the music. You have to be ready to face these challenges, and you have to be ready to, you know, be strong. Yeah, that's basically it. And you also cannot be rigid. You need to be flexible. You need to observe what trends are currently existing. You cannot be afraid. You need to know what's going next. What are your customers thinking? Because your customers